Hello, I'm here with Dan Dorty, our director of music here at Derry Church, and we're talking about the new concept of changing up this choir loft, why we need to change it up, renovate it, and what the positive outcomes will be. So Dan, first and foremost, why are we even thinking about changing this choir loft?
Sure, this loft is a hazard. If you look at the steps here, Sue, if you want to show them the steps and all the different levels, we have people falling on a regular basis. And we have people falling on the front of the step where there's no lip. And even over by the organ, there's a box of wires and the organ can go down in the lift, and that's a falling hazard. And there's no railings to support anyone.
Yeah, so some of the choir right now, they need help standing up, so we don't have enough double arm chairs. When you're walking across, your foot can slip down very easily. The chairs can fall off the front. None of these steps are actually to code. They're not the right height for steps. So the first and foremost reason we're looking into this change is the safety of the choir and anyone else who's coming up here. So we're first looking at kind of creating handrails in front of each section so people can hold on to be able to stand up and hold on as they're walking across. We'll have 3 levels like we do now, but the first level is going to be on the main floor, so people who have trouble with steps at all won't have to make those steps. Then we will have handrails on both sides to go up the steps, and every step will be up to code that exact same height and width, instead of having this kind of mismatch of different heights and length steps. But now Dan also suggested while we're doing this, could we curve the choir loft? So Dan, why is it important to curve the choir loft?
Yeah, so singing in a choir is extremely important to be a listener as well as a singer. And so when you're on one side of the loft to the other, you need to be able to hear, if you're a soprano over here and you're an alto over there, you need to be able to hear your notes so you know where you're singing. And we can't hear each other across the loft at the moment. Arcing the choir will allow us to hear each other a little better. And it will make a more cohesive sound for the choir as well.
If you were at the recent Mennonite Children's Choir concert, they brought their own risers that basically had the same kind of curve we're looking at for the choir loft. So we'll have this slight curve, and there'll be handrails coming up, clear steps. This will help the choir to sing better. We have tape down, so when you come to the information session on Sunday, if you can come up to the sanctuary, see where we have tape down of where the new footprint will be. But we've checked, there'll still be room for the piano, all the other things. There'll still be a wall in the very front of the choir, that modesty rail that's often called. But it'll also allow us to put more chairs out if we need to for the choir. The choir's been growing, which is a really great thing. So we're not going to lose any chair space from this new proposal. Now we have 2 options of what this might look like. The first is, and we have this kind of curve, we'd have this kind of oak wall curving with it all the way around. So you have like a little blank spot on top up here that you could put like a flower on, but it would kind of curve along behind the choir loft. So Dan, what's the reason for having this kind of curved oak wall paneling behind the choir?
Yeah, so that would be for sound egress, to get the choir to not have to sing so loud. Right now this is hollow behind here, behind all the fabric, and it's sucking up the last row's sound. So the basses tend to sit in the back row, some of the altos and some of the sopranos, and this would help to send their sound out into the room. They won't have to over sing like they currently do. And it'll help just allow us to hear each other a lot better.
Yeah, so it kind of like bounces sound back to y'all and out into the congregation. Some of the choir members have shared they feel like they have to really shout. Now, that will change the look because it'll be like an oak, and this isn't the same color. People have talked about, could we stain that a similar color? But also it would break up this where the shadow of the cross would get kind of more broken up, and we're not sure how that would look like because the wall would come out and it wouldn't reflect the same way. So we'd have to figure out a way to change the lighting, lift it up, but also somehow shrink it. Not sure how that would work. That's one option. The second option is to keep that curve, but keep the back exact the way it is. So we'd actually have just some space right here. We could put a pedestal for flowers, move the flags back here, and this would all stay the same. But one major change would be we would take down this cloth and put up plywood on the back of all this blank spot. That'll keep this cloth from wrinkling as easily. And it would also provide a little bit of that sound bounce back, because right now the sound gets kind of sucked back in this empty space. That will provide some of that same acoustic benefit that the wall would as well, without changing up the look of the sanctuary.
Correct.
So Dan, anything else important we need to kind of know about this change?
Well, the wonderful thing is we have people with armed chairs that need the arms, and with the railing, it won't be as essential to have those arms. They'll be able to just grab the rail and stand up. So having the first level as well on the main level of the sanctuary stage, of the chancel stage, that'll be great, because we don't have people doing a step if they don't have to, which is excellent for safety.
So the total budgeted cost of this project is about $120,000. The bid we have for it with the wall is $90,000. We have like a $10,000 contingency in there, because as they move up this floor, we don't know what we're gonna find. So it's always good to have a contingency. The second part is we put some money in for some new chairs if we need them, or some chairs don't have the hymnal racks at the back. And so we'll need to kind of add that into the chairs so everybody will have a place for their hymnals. So that's a piece of this as well. Another part that is going to be discussed as we're getting all these new railings. Now the new railings will look pretty much like this, the same look that we have here in the front of the sanctuary. While we're cutting all this oak, we're going to add 2 new railings to the front of the chancel, about at the depth from the chancel where the pulpit is. So as people walk up to read from the pulpit or the font, there's going to be a handrail right there. We have them at the back, but people often don't want to walk all the way to the back because they kind of need to get up there. Multiple people have fallen, so that's a major safety issue. And while we're making these, it'll be much cheaper to do it now. So we're going to look at adding those on each side of the chancel as we're doing this project. So if you can come on Sunday, you'll be able to ask questions, share concerns. If you can't make it on Sunday and you have a question, you have a concern, please reach out to me, or especially Bill Alexander. He's been working with the architects heavily on this project, with the contractors. He'll be able to answer more questions, but we'll have it here on Sunday. We'll have some pictures, a PowerPoint presentation. You'll be able to share your preferences, your concerns. We want to make sure you all feel in the know and know what's going on as we're thinking about making this big change. If you have music questions, please reach out to Dan. Thank you very much.